plates on a lot, either flat edge or the star edge, and then I decided to keep them on a thicker metal one. That way I always make sure and know where those are at. These are license plate fasteners, and they come in handy. Like today on FedEx or any step vans, routinely you'll need the nut off of this, and it's screwed onto the bolts that are already built into the van. I keep a couple pair of those thicker, heavier duty cable ties because you never know if I'm driving an incomplete chassis, which is the box truck without the box on it yet, and they have those mud flaps strapped to it on the back, and sometimes you need to reinforce that. I usually carry more than this, but right now I'm down to 2. But that's the generic gist of what all I need. Pens to sign the paperwork, markers come in handy to mark this or that. The high visibility vest, sometimes you got to go into a factory to pick some stuff up, and every now and then they want you to have high visibility vest, or if you're on the road, broke down somewhere, at least I have some option. And then if you're hitchhiking or having to walk at night and stuff like that, which I do on occasion, I try not to, but if you have to, you know, I have the high visibility vest to try to keep me sane and visible, I guess. A few hats, extra generic pills, protein pills. I use this right here. It's another 80 Power stowable backpack. When I'm in the airport, I wear all my clothes, and then I'm able to put that 38 liter squeezed into that compression bag. And then the compression bag is the size of a personal item, and you can get on cheaper airlines like Frontier with no bag and just a personal item like a purse if I'm wearing everything else. But the idea is you wear all of this in your outfits over there, which I'm going to show you in a second. One pair of shoes right now. I usually have another pair of shower shoes, but I have yet to pick another pair up because I always do the shower shoes. That way you have a rubber pair of flip-flops that you can use for flip-flops, but it's almost winter time, so I only have the one right now. $150 hiker sleeping bag definitely comes in handy. That thing is lightweight and it'll get you down to 40 degrees comfortably as long as you have your other layers of clothes on if you have to sleep in a box truck or whatever. $80 pair of REI pants. The only thing that there's a downside on these ones is they don't generically say REI in big bold letters, which I'd like them to say on the sides for having paid $80 for them. But they are fast drying, so I can use this pair as shorts now for the hot tub. I can go down there. They're not ideal because you have pockets, and pockets could fill with water, so you have to squeeze that all out when you get done with the hot tub. But they are fast drying, and then of course they make shorts or pants. So anytime you can double the purpose of something up is way better. And then I got them a size bigger than the jeans that I have on now. That way I can fit them over top of these jeans for the airport. So I can wear all my clothes through the airport on the lower end flights that I have to take. Or don't have to take, but in order to save money, I prefer to take stuff like Frontier and whatnot in the summertime, more so than in the wintertime. Now that it's the wintertime and I have that 38 liter, I'm probably going to end up taking higher end airlines like Delta and whatnot once I can get ahead enough again, but I'm just starting back transporting. Nice Reebok shirt, which is just a facsimile for now. Eventually I'm going to have this be a merino wool shirt, or I also saw the synthetic material that 80 makes in a t-shirt on their website the other day, so I might get one or the other of those and replace that. But for now, that's just a sweat resistant fast dry shirt that I can use with those fast dry shorts that I can go to the hot tub with. Because right now I'm wearing a generic cotton t-shirt, and it's not very good for doing that. Going to the hot tub because it wouldn't dry as fast coming back up if you put it on your wet body after you get out the tub. Anyway, here's my layering system real quick. I've gone over this before. Long sleeve shirt goes closest to your body to keep the heat in. This acts, it's a fleece and acts like a heating layer, and then it has zip-up pockets. You notice everything I have has zip-up pockets. The reason being so I can pack all of that in each one of those zip-up pockets and generically organize them, which after I get done with this video, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my toiletries in this one. And that's the layering system, keeps you warm. This provides you an air buffer, kind of like Reflectix buffer between you and the outside air. On a puff jacket, they call it. Hard to keep these washed and dried. You have to hand wash them, and not very often and stuff like that, but they're worth their weight in gold because they literally make the difference between you and the outside weather. That's your outer layer. And again, they have zip-up pockets. I'll put my work stuff in this one because it tends to have bigger inside pockets that are not zip-up, but my license plate will fit in that. Nice big wide open pocket. And it stays there because I can feel the license plate. I can see if it drops or not or whatever. So I tend to put my work stuff in that one. Then the most readily accessible one, outside layer, usually takes my phone and my tech, even though I know that's not the greatest of ideas. My rain shell layer on the outside that's supposed to be for rain and snow, which I try to avoid anyway, has a tech pocket, basically what I call it, and it's got zippered so I don't lose my stuff, and I tend to put my plug-ins and my touchpad and my phone and stuff in here, which is probably not the best of ideas long term, and I watch myself, so when I go in bad weather, I obviously take it out and put it in a different layer, and then use the empty shell in bad weather to cover myself up because I know it'll get wet. But when I'm in nice weather, I use this for my earphones and my wallet and all my stuff on the outer layer, just because it's easier and more handy to get to the stuff that I get to all the time while I'm traveling, on planes and buses and whatnot. So this is my tech, this is my work crap, this is my toiletries, and then of course just my body and stuff. And then there is extra pockets and stuff on the pants in case I need to take extras, but I usually just end up putting my my pop or my candy bar in these pockets, because I don't like leaving anything valuable in the knee pockets. I just don't like carrying them there. But occasionally, if I get to carry a pop or candy or something that's faster to get to, I just put them in the pants pocket. And I have cargo pants for that reason. There's other reasons that I have blue jeans, but blue jeans tend to be a thicker material, help keep your bottom warmer in cold weather. If you're having to sleep into a box truck and stuff like that, you don't want to sleep on the metal floor of a box truck. I try to put cardboard, 2 or 3 layers of cardboard down, but then I also want to have a layer of heavy duty material, because that material is just not heavy enough. It's great for packing it around because it's lightweight to pack around, but when it comes to sleeping in a box truck, I want to have something heavier on me, and so that's why I layer up like that so far. And I'm looking at other options as far as insulated cargo pants that I could use, but so far jeans seem to be the best in terms of keeping my blood flow, because I have a blood circulation problem on occasion, I've noticed, from getting older and fatter, I think. But anyway, this section of the video is just for my long-term subscribers. You know who you are, the 5 or 6 of you that always comment on my videos and like seeing everything that I do. I try to go into detail for you as to what all I do and don't pack, and what I've found works and doesn't work. And this is like the simplest that I can break down, which ends up turning into just this little bit. Couple different options in bags, because you never know when you need an extra bag. That's also the other reason why I carry that extra toiletry bag, is so in case. See, when I go to the airport, if I want to make it fast and easy on myself, all the clothes go in the clothes bag. Everything that's on this bed right there that's loose, that might be questionable for TSA, blah blah blah, easier to get to, go in that zipper bag, that stowaway bag. That way they're separate. It goes through TSA. TSA has no problems whatsoever with this because it has nothing but clothes in it. May or may not have problems with this, but it's easy to dump that out or look at or whatever, put it all back in. So it makes it a breeze going through TSA. Then after I go through TSA, I take the time, usually I schedule it so I have the time to do it, and I put everything in my layers. Like I said before, the toiletries, the tech, and the toiletries, the work, and the tech. And stuff it all in there, wear all those layers in that. So basically I have 2 t-shirts, the one I'm wearing and that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and that one. So I got 4, 5, 6 layers on top and 2 layers on the bottom, and then I have 2 pairs of socks that I put on. Sometimes I put 2 pairs of underwear on. When it gets down to just the underwear and whatnot, you can kind of get away with just cramming that in the little bag when you want to make a personal item out of the deal. But basically, I don't look too bad. I look a little bit bigger, but with the itties especially, I don't feel that I look all that lumpy going on to an airline, like a cheaper airline like Frontier, wearing everything. Because then I end up with wearing everything, plus that little personal bag, little purse-sized man purse personal bag that usually keeps my hats, and that 38 liter will fit in there just barely. I'll cram it all in there, compress it down, and the sleeping bag I usually tie onto its own thing that's tied on there already for that reason. But I usually cram it in there, and they count it as the same thing because both these 2 bags, even full, that one full of sleeping bag and this one full of the cat hats and this 38 liter, fit within their teeny tiny personal items box that they have you sizer box to fit it in. And then if they bitch and complain, that technically that sleeping bag is a blanket and is medical equipment that I may or may not need for on the plane, and they can't say nothing about it. Not to mention when I fly, because that won't fit.